Yes, there we go, guys. Woo! Welcome everyone to another episode of A Drink with Brink, where I talk with other indie creators about their lives and their books and their campaigns. Because people often invite me to their shows and give me time on their platforms, and I appreciate it. And I want to do something in return for this amazing community. Okay, guys. A little update. I try to update people every Sunday. I don't think I have that much really. The campaigns are going strong. We're still producing the books. So yeah, all that is in place. But I had this little. I was in doubt about this channel. So my Jamie Comics channel, I started this channel because I want to make comic books. I love making comic books. That's what I want to do. I don't think I am a natural YouTuber. I do this because of the branding, and I want to interact with you guys. And besides this show, where I basically interview other creators, I have other shows like The Dutch Angle, where we talk about things related to comics or entertainment with two other Dutch people. Then we had other shows like The Writer's Block. I had a show called Triple D, and I was trying to find different formats, different things to present to you guys, to make content and to produce things that you like. The thing is that I don't really know if people do watch. I know people watch, they show up. I really appreciate it. The thing is that sometimes I have to power myself through these things because I think it is something that I must do. I must create content. I must make stuff that people like. So I'm becoming a little bit of a content creator for YouTube. And it's not really where my heart is. My heart is at making comic books. And the show that I like to do the most is this one, where I just get to talk about indie comics with other creators and learn about their process. That's interesting to me, and I hope it's interesting to you as well. So maybe it's because I need a little break, but I was thinking I would like to continue this show and maybe pause the rest for a little while, so I can focus on producing books. And so every week you will get a new show, but the other shows, I'm not sure what I want to do with those in the future. if you like these shows to stay, so if you enjoy the Dutch angle, you would like it to stay, let me know. Let me know, or are there other things you would like to see from this channel? Just let me know, guys. I want to make things that you like, but also things that I enjoy making. Otherwise, I can't keep doing it. That's basically the thing. So yeah, okay. Sorry, long intro. Sorry about that. Let's say hello to all you lovely people. I saw that Tank Ferret is here. Tank Ferret, ahoy, ahoy, all you. What a word is this? What's this? Sagacious scallywags. I know scallywags, but sagacious is completely new to me. Hello, Tank. Welcome, sir. And then we have Mike. Mike, welcome, Mike. Always cool to see Mike. Snowed in and Sasquatchy. Oh, are you snowed in, sir? Oh, yeah. We don't have snow here yet. But yeah, you're snowed in. Sounds interesting. And then, of course, we have our guest, Odin Dasko, who's waiting in the back room right now. We will bring him on in just a minute. And then we have David Feed. Hello, David Feed. How are you, sir? Nice to see you. David Feed, Tank Ferret was here. Mike was here. If you're watching, just say hi. If you have questions for our guests, just drop it in the chat and we will just throw it at him, right? So, yeah. David Feed says, we like you regardless of your YouTube orientation or what kind of YouTube gender you identify as. Oh, thank you very much. I feel very welcomed. Yeah, thank you very much. All right, let's not keep our guest waiting much longer. So he's a new guest to the show. So let's give him a warm welcome. Here is Odin Dasko. Welcome, sir.
Howdy. Good to see you. Good to be here. And all these awesome people in the chat. Good to see you as well.
Good morning to you. It's morning for you, right?
Yeah, well, it's before noon, so yeah, we could call it morning.
Sure.
Yeah, it's 11 here Pacific time, so.
Right.
And
yes.
I feel Mike, we got snow. So.
You got snow as well?
Yep. Yeah, it's that time of year for us, so.
It's the time of year. It's
no worries.
Yes. So I know it's early for you, but usually I ask my guests, what are you drinking?
What am I drinking? Well,
yes.
Even though it's early, I'm still drinking. I had a long night of drinking last night with my friend 80s Made Consumer on his channel. And so if I wake up and I go, I could just keep it going. So I'm drinking a what I call a Royal Coffee Royale, which is coffee with a little hint of bourbon in there. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So you're starting the day off.
Yeah, well, I got nothing going on but drawing after this. So
right.
I'm all good. I could take a nap later. I don't know.
Yeah, 80s Made Consumer. He can stream for hours, man.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it can go for a long time. I mean, when you're having fun, you don't realize how long you're going. So.
Yes, this is true. I saw that Gregory's here. Welcome, Greg. Hail to Gregory. Hello, hello. And Hojo. Also a big hail from Hojo.
What's up, Hojo?
Welcome, welcome.
And so just so you know, sagacious, it basically means like shrewd or critical thinking, smart, wise. I don't know. Along those lines. I think shrewd is the best.
Shrewd. I know the word shrewd.
Yeah, synonym.
I'm learning new words every week, man. It's fantastic.
Yeah, sagacious is a great word, and Tank Ferret, he uses it every time. He calls all of us sagacious scallywags.
All right, here he says, sagacious is wise.
Yeah.
Right, wise. All right. Thank you all for joining. Odin. So, first off, we like to talk a bit about you for the people who don't know you. So, you are a comic book creator right now, right?
That is true. Okay.
So, what is your history with comic books? Were you a fan before?
Oh yeah. So I mean, as a young man, let's say basically like 10 to 14, 15, I was a huge comic book nerd. I loved them. spent all my time at the comic book shop, spending every dime I had on books. Somewhere around 15, though, I think it was like 14, 15, 16. In that area, they just kind of started falling off because I got introduced to like the world of sex, drugs, and rock and roll. And that became my lifestyle for most of my adult life.
Right.
I was a lead singer in several bands, like heavy metal bands.
And
so
wow.
I did that for a long time. But as I did that, I kind of quit paying attention to comics for a long time.
Can you name one band?
Yeah, so the last band I was in was probably the most successful one, was called Therion X.
Therion X. All right.
Yeah. Don't ask me what it means. My drummer came up with the name. I never liked it, but I always say like a name is just a name, like you define the name, not the other way around. The name doesn't define you. So everybody's like, what does that mean? I'm like, I don't know.
Yeah. It has to sound cool.
Yeah.
Right. Therion X. So when we go to YouTube, we type it in, we can find some music you did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, there's tons of like live recordings out there of me acting like a maniac on stage and stuff. Yeah.
Were you the singer or did you play an instrument?
I was the singer. I didn't play instruments. I mean, I messed around on instruments, but it wasn't my thing. I was just purely a front man.
Mo Biggs is here. Hey, welcome, Mo.
Always good to see you, man.
You don't want to know my theory on X. Yeah.
I can only guess. I'm sure it's awesome, though.
Greg says, branding is crucial. If your brand name sucks, nobody cares about what defines you.
I disagree, because two of the most famous hard rock bands are called Korn and Tool. And I'm like, Those are two of the most successful bands ever, and they have the dumbest names ever. So
yeah, very, very random names. Yeah.
Yeah.
Amanda B. Welcome, Amanda B.
Hey, nice good to see you, Amanda B.
And Mike says...
the first backer for Unconditional Shove, Amanda B.
Oh, really? She was the first?
Yes.
Oh, wow.
Numero uno.
Oh, Ticker. Sorry. Yes, Ticker. Mike reminds me of the Ticker. Wait, let me... before I forget. Here we go. There we go. Thank you for reminding me. Yeah.
Professional. It's like CNN.
Yeah.
At the bottom here is like.
So you still make music? You're still in bands?
No. I turned that. Well, I have children, and being on the road and trying to do that, it takes tons of time and energy, creative and mental energy, all kinds of focus, and plus just being gone a lot. So I went, I'm losing time with my kids doing this, so I had to stop. But I'm a creative person, and I have to be creating something. And so I went, okay, music's done. Let's go back to our first love, which was comic books. I'd been drawing comic books and comic book style art the whole time. But
oh, really?
Yeah, so like it was mostly related around the band. I would draw like band posters and CD art and stuff like that.
Right.
But,
okay.
Yeah, then I was like, let's go back. Let's a creative pursuit that isn't going to take all this time away from your kids,
Yes.
So
yes. Yeah. So did you then when you so how long ago was it that you decided you wanted to make comic books?
Well, let's see. I stopped playing music in 2015.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I kind of went, okay, I got to start over. And then between then and about 2020, I was just reintroducing myself to the skill of drawing and sequential storytelling, and trying to get reacquainted with it, get better at it. And then about 2020 is when I was like, okay, we're going to do this. Let's come up with an idea. Let's start drawing. Let's start scheming, and let's go for it. So, and that was right around the time that a lot was happening with Comicsgate. That was
right
a big revelation to me as well. So I went, oh yeah, this is a time for an independent creator to try his hand at it and see if he got what it takes.
So was Comicsgate also a factor in your decision to do comic books?
Well, I think it was an unintentional factor, like the timing just worked out that it was like, wow, independent comics have become a thing, especially for people who are tired of how the mainstream comics are handling things. So I would probably be making an independent comic right now anyway, but it did coincide perfectly that meet a bunch of people, find out that YouTube and streaming are ways to promote, and it's a whole new world. Like when I first started thinking about doing the comic book, I didn't think that I would be like on streams and doing all this stuff. I didn't know that was the way. But then once I found out, I'm like, this is the way.
Yeah, I started the show with telling people that it's not really my thing, but you have this history with performing for people, right? So you're basically used to it. So you're much more confident when you go on streams and do the branding for your book.
Yeah, I guess that helps. I also I've done public speaking as well, so that helped as well to just be like comfortable like talking. But this feels like a lot less pressure because I'm not seeing an audience in front of me, even though I know they're there. I don't see their eyes like staring straight at me. I see you, but that's about it, So it's a little easier even still. But
right. You said that you that was about 2020 that you were like, I have to build a concept for a book, right? So you didn't have an idea before. You started to develop your story in 2020.
Yeah, roughly. I mean, I've always had ideas. As a creative person, you're just always thinking of like, oh, this would be a cool concept. You know what I mean? But the idea for Unconditional Shove was originally going to be like an ongoing story. And I started writing it, started drawing it. And then somewhere along the line, I just realized that's not what I want, the direction I wanted to go, because I did like coming up with new ideas all the time. I wanted to do an anthology book so I could like kind of create a new universe every short story and just like keep creating new universes. And you're just like looking into this universe for like one story and then on to the next one. And that seemed more appealing to me. So that's kind of the shift.
Right. Mo says, without CG, Odin might have needed to call his book Pride in the Name of Shove.
In the Name of Shove.
Yeah. David Feet asks, is it inspired by Tales from the Crypt?
Oh, for sure. That is a big inspiration. I mean, not just Tales from the Crypt, but that style. Obviously, Tales from the Crypt. The comic book, the old EC comic books, which are Tales from the Crypt, their horror line, anyway, was like Tales from the Crypt, Vault of Terror, Haunt of Fear. Those are old school anthology books that were centered around horror, but they were really fun. And those were big inspirations. Then later they did Eerie and Creepy through Warren Publishing. Eerie and Creepy magazines kind of took that same mantle. And then a lot of the TV shows like Tales from the Crypt, Tales from the Dark Side, the Creep Show movies and TV shows, all that stuff. Like it's a fun short stories that they're horror, but they're like kind of campy and tongue in cheek and fun,
Right. So your book is also of the horror genre.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Okay. And you write all the stories yourself? You said it were all shorter stories, right?
Yep. Yeah, so short stories has always been what I prefer to read. Like I'll read novels, it's fine, but I get bogged down with all the overuse of description.
Yeah.
Because I'm like, what can I let my imagination do some of the work here? Like they're like spending like 2 pages describing the scenery of a planet or something. And I'm like, yeah, I think my imagination could have done a good enough job if you just gave a few highlights and didn't spend 2 pages describing it, So I love short stories, but it's always been what I preferred to write as well. I think there's a different kind of trick to it as far as like what information to give and what information to omit. And I think it works really well with comic books. So
yeah, that's all. There's also this connection between heavy metal and horror. Oftentimes, right? You have the album covers with Eddie and
yeah,
all these famous horror characters created by these bands. Yeah.
Yeah, I think that you grow up, you love album covers because some cool art. You've mentioned Eddie, all the Iron Maiden covers.
Yeah.
And when you're a kid and you see that and you're just blown away by how intense the imagery is, it just snowballs creativity in you. You're like, yeah. And I saw the movie The Thing. I've told a lot of people this when I was like 4.
Wow.
Like my dad took me to the drive-in, and that's the second feature. Usually kids fall asleep. I woke up at the most scary, intense scene, and it's almost like I go, yeah, that kind of messed me up as a kid, gave me a lot of nightmares, but it also inspired all these creativity in me. Your mind is just young and absorbing all this craziness. You're like, yeah, I want to make stuff like that too. So yeah, that's a big part of it. And then heavy metal, like I said, there's a connection through horror and heavy metal.
Right. You also wrote music, or did other people do that?
Well, the actual music, mostly it was the bandmates, but I wrote all the lyricism. So.
Oh, right. Sure. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay, great. And so, wait. Let's see what the chat has to say before I go. I missed too much. Mike says, "Have you read Clive Barker's Books of Blood? Great imagination in those."
I have not. But now that you mentioned it, I am going to copy this and put it in a search and look it up.
The Books of Blood. Okay. David Feed says, "I love the Battle Beast covers." Battle Beast? Is that a band?
I don't know. It could be. If it is, I'm not aware. It's another one might be worth checking out.
Right. Greg says, "Clive Barker is one of my favorite authors of all time."
Yeah, Clive Barker was great. And then he had a real strong connection with comic books as well. And so I think, again, if you like short stories, I think comic books are a great medium to tell those stories. Because I think even ongoing characters, as you're writing issues, you're basically writing short stories. So.
Right. Yes. You said you also do the artwork, right? You draw your own books, so you write it and you draw it. So are you self-taught with art?
Yeah, I didn't go to Kubert school or anything.
No.
Yeah, no. It was all self-taught, and even art classes in school I didn't really take. I remember in high school, there were elective classes that would fill up really fast. And then I would go, oh, I missed out. I can't even take an art class. And I remember I went to, somebody was like, well, just go show the art teacher your stuff because you're good. And I went to the art teacher and I was like, here's what I do. Can I just get in the class anyway? And her exact words were, no, I would screw up your style. You already have an established style. And if you came in the art class, you'd probably get messed up. So at the time I was kind of disappointed. I don't get to take art class. But then later I went, that was one of the best compliments I've ever received. And I was just a high school. So.
Absolutely. All right, let's take a look at your book. But before we do that, let's have a little advertisement break.
Oh yeah.
On pure speculation, just an educated guess, I'd say that man is alive.
Come with me, see what I see. The terrible worlds that lie between. The realm observed and the realms unseen, where the dark things live while you dream. Join me, fight on the beholder as I drag your mind into those shadows and corners where you can see like me, those things you don't want to believe. Unconditional Shove, the new horror sci-fi graphic novel anthology series, featuring 2 stories and over 80 pages of compelling, action-packed, terrifying fun. In our first story, I'll take you to a place where the otherworldly is made manifest. In this place, the abstract permeates the cosmology. In this place, your fears will construct the most terrifying animations. Because in this place, monsters exist. And in our second story, we stumble upon an ancient friendship between monster and man. And you'll see why it might be best to keep your monsters close and your enemies even closer. In With Friends Like These. Unconditional Shove Volume One. A graphic novel for all you lovers of the strange, macabre, and creepy things that we all know exist in the shadows of our universe. Unconditional Shove. Back it today on Indiegogo.
Yes, there we go.
There's the trailer. And I do have to shout out Abra's 2 cents. She has a YouTube channel, but she made that trailer for me. She is awesome and a super, super awesome person, but also a kick-ass at editing. And she did a great.
It looked nice, man. With your music, right?
Yeah, that was actually music from my first band I was in way back when I was younger, called Angels of the Odd.
Right.
And then I did the voiceover. So I was like, yeah, that way I can save money. I don't have to pay somebody else for this stuff.
Excellent. Coxmate is here. Welcome, Coxmate. Welcome, Dean. We are talking today with Odin Dasko about his book, Unconditional Shove. Yes. And let's see if I missed any. Jeepers Creepers? Jeepers Creepers.
I could see that because of the Scarecrow guy. Always, you see that image, it does remind you of the Jeepers Creepers. So.
All right, yeah. Let me bring it up here. Unconditional Shove. Excellent. This is volume 1. You said it was shorter stories, but in the trailer, you mentioned it was 80 pages with 2 stories.
Yep.
So these stories are not that short.
They're not
like
that
40 pages, right?
Yeah. So the first one, Monsters Exist, is almost 60. That one was, I started that thinking that was the one I was going to make an original series going forward, or an ongoing series. And so I had so much of it worked out, and I was like, no, let's just wrap this story up and not do the ongoing series. Let's do anthologies. So that one's a bit long. It's still, in my mind, a short story. It packs a lot into that one story. So. And then the second one, with Friends Like These, that one's about 30 pages. You know, it's a much shorter story, a little more to the point.
So you have a lot of short stories in production or in concept.
Yes.
You can continue this series for
for
many volumes.
You know, perpetually, basically. Well, and also my partner in Broken Compass Comics, James. He's also a hell of a writer, and so him and I have developed like several ideas that are like, this would be a great shove story. This would be a great. So yeah, there's never a lack of fun stories that could be turned into this anthology. So.
Right. Yes. You mentioned Broken Compass Comics. That's this page. You have your own page.
Yep.
So how does this? Did this start? Is this a group or is it just you?
No, it's a group. So it's a collective, as we say. It sounds all commie if we say collective. But
all right.
No,
yeah.
So James Rock, I met him on 80s Made Consumer show one time. He came in and he had a book called Magnificent Bastards. He was like selling this book about a walrus, and I was like, oh, okay. But we ended up talking quite a bit and realizing that we're kind of cut from the same cloth as far as creativity and what kind of books we want to put out. And so he had already started Broken Compass Comics, and then he's like, dude, let's do this together. And yeah, so we have some plans for several books. So Spermicide, that's a friend of James. I don't know a ton about that one, except that it's tongue-in-cheek, funny, and crazy, as the title would suggest. And then Sliver is a book that James and I are going to be working on together. So,
wow, these logos, by the way, pretty cool stuff, man.
Thank you.
Very, very professional. Who made these?
Well, I'm sure James made the other 3. The Unconditional Shove one, I made that. But
nice, very cool. So if you store here,
yeah, we're just selling merch like T-shirts and glasses, and I don't know what else we got up in there. The T-shirts have sold pretty well. We've got hoodies and all that.
Oh, nice.
Sold a couple of those long sleeve shove shirts. I know that.
Right. Wow. Okay. About who you guys are. All right.
Yep.
Yes. Okay, cool, man. Guys, the link to this page is in the description of the video. If you want to check out the homepage of Broken Compass Comics, please do. Right, and then the campaign. You now have 49 backers, so
That's awesome. Yeah.
50 during this show. That will be awesome.
Yeah, like
guys.
we'll look at it, and hopefully, if you have not checked it out and have not backed it, you would consider doing so. I really think this book is awesome, obviously, but I know it's very tailored to people who are fans of those whole horror anthologies. But I've also said, like, I think anybody who has this book in their hands is going to enjoy it. The stories are fun. The artwork, I think, is awesome. So I think, just doesn't have to be somebody who's a fan of like that old school anthology horrors. But if you are a fan of those, then this is right up your alley for sure.
Right. A few new people in the chat. I saw Ray Haylock.
Ray, good to see you, man.
Hey, welcome, Ray. 5-minute smoke break before I king up our rental car.
Yeah. Well, thanks for jumping in, man. It's good to see you. The guy's always on the move, man. He's flying. He's got a lot going on, it seems like. So thanks for stopping by, man.
Yeah, man. And Caroline.
Caroline.
Hello, Caroline.
That's good to see you as well. Good.
Welcome. And we have Ninja Style. Welcome, Ninja Style.
Ninja Style. Great name and great avatar.
Yeah, indeed. All right. Welcome all. Okay, so this cover, does this relate to one of the stories?
Yeah, that one actually relates to both of the stories. Actually, both covers kind of have elements from both stories. So this is the color version. So we have a color version and a black and white version. This is the color cover.
Right.
And on the right-hand side, on his right, our left, is kind of imagery from Monsters Exist, the first story. And then on the right-hand side, his left, is imagery from With Friends Like These. So it's kind of like each story, one on each side.
And this person is like the crypt keeper.
Yep. So that is Vidon the Beholder. He is I kind of relate him to like the Watchers in Marvel. It's kind of he just sees things in the universe and throughout time and throughout space, and he just shows us what he sees. And it's always the craziest, wildest stories that are happening at any given time in the universe. And
cool. Is this digitally colored or what?
Yeah, that's digitally colored. My colorist is Damir Rosic. He does color digitally, but he gets the effect like an old school hand colored, which I tried to get on purpose. I told him this is all the direction I gave the guy. It was look at an old Tales from the Crypt or EC cover, think that, but make it look modern. And I think with every image he sends me, he's always capturing what the look and feel of what I'm looking for. So hell of a colorist.
His colors are very unique. Yeah, well done. All right, let's see. 80 pages, 2 stories, right? 2 Monster Tales. This is one of the panels from the book.
Yeah, that's the introduction page for the second story, With Friends Like These. There's actually panels above it, so it's not a full splash, but a pretty good size image. Yeah, that was one of my favorites.
Right.
Got our scarecrow character looking down on the cabin below.
Right. You do not have full pages on here, right?
If you scroll down, there's a GIF that just like cycles through that right there.
Oh, here. All right.
And you'll see some. Yeah.
All right. So you draw traditional?
I do. I draw traditional. I scan them, and then my colorist colors digitally.
Mm-hmm.
And then James, he's doing the lettering. So we don't have lettered pages up just yet, but once we get a few, we'll definitely be putting those up as well. The book is I'm finishing inks on page 65 now. So out of the 80, it may be more than 80, but out of that, that's the progress we're at. And then Demir is up to page I think about 25 with the colors. So we're moving right along, and he is really fast. I just brought him on board not too long ago, and he's getting me pages like super, super fast. So yeah, he's excited about this project.
So who are your influences with your style?
Yeah, tons of them, but art wise, I talk about it a lot. Like Simon Bisley was a big revelation to me because his stuff was so frenetic and wild and crazy. Same with Sienkiewicz, some of those guys. But then there was old image guys like Keown, Jay Lee. Jay Lee was a big influence. Jim Lee. But I've lately been going back in time and looking at some old artists like Buscema, Wally Wood, Bernie Wrightson, and these guys are blowing my mind. So that's the biggest inspiration right now. It's like going way back and finding some really old artists.
Greg needs to go. Okay, Greg. Thank you for dropping by.
Le Vitre.
And we have J-Bot Art. Welcome. I'm so stoked to get this book, he says.
Thank you, man. I'm stoked to get it to you because I'm pretty sure J-Bot got the black and white version. Some people are really wanting the black and white. Some people are really
so you have
color.
two versions, right? You have this one.
Yep.
For $30 you get the black and white book. Right. Okay, and then you have the color version for $40.
Yep. And then we have a combo of both, which is actually the most back tier. People are really liking the idea of getting both. So.
Oh wow, yeah. You get a little discount also.
Yeah. We'll do a discount for that one because you're getting more.
Yeah, of course, man.
So I'm personally excited to get both because I think they look the color version versus the black and white. I mean, it's like two totally different books, even though the artwork's the same. It's just the difference that color can make. Because I originally drew this thinking it would just be black and white, and
right, yes. It also has a specific cover. So
so we got a black and white cover again. It kind of represents different elements from both stories in the cover, and then so that's another reason is you get a different color cover for each. So it's like a little more incentive to get both.
J-Bot says, I got the black and white of Shove and Bastards.
Yeah, so that's our one add-on. Once you back, you can add on a limited edition of Magnificent Bastards, which was James, the first book.
All right. Okay, so it's not here. You can't see it on this campaign, but if you back something, you can add it on.
Yep.
Right.
And that one's limited to 100 black and white, and then I'm drawing a black and white cover for that specific one.
All right.
So if anyone's aware, James's book, Magnificent Bastards, we closed it down, the campaign. So if you missed out, this is like a chance you could actually jump in and get it. And
okay, cool.
At a relatively good price, cheap price. It's only $15 for that add-on for the black and white Magnificent Bastards book. So,
right. 80s Made Consumer is here. Welcome, sir.
What's up, brother?
Welcome. Let's see. Yes, I usually miss the show from 80s Made, but then I catch part of it because his show run for 6 hours or something.
Yeah. If you missed the first 2 hours, just jump in a little bit. Well, I saw you said hey last night. I remember that.
Oh, right. Yeah. Let me see. You have, who are the creators? A little bit about creators.
And then if you go back up, the last tier was we do have a original art tier. So
cool.
You get both copies of the book plus an interior page of original art. We're doing 10 pages, first come, first serve. So the first person who backs that gets their choice of, and they're going to be some of the very best pages from the book, So.
Okay, so you pre-select some for them.
Yeah.
Right.
So I have a few that I'm going to select. I'm still drawing some pages that'll probably be in that collection. But once it's once they're gathered, then whoever was the first to back that tier will get their first choice of those 10 and on down the line. So far, no one's backed it. So, if you wanted to be the first choice of interior pages, and I know interior art, it's hard to sell unless you're a huge fan because of the higher price tag.
Exactly.
But these pages are awesome, and original art is, I'm a big fan of original art. I've backed original art on different tiers before, just because I love having that piece of, because it's never going to be made again,
Yeah, that's right, man. That's right. All right, excellent. So this is the first 30 days you just launched a week ago.
Yeah, we launched the Saturday before Halloween. Yes. So literally just over a week now, and it's doing pretty well. I'm excited for how far we've come, and I'm excited to,
Yeah, the first week, and you passed 50%, so that's excellent, man.
Yeah, no, and everyone who's backed this, I mean, I just appreciate it so much, and then just trying to get more and more every day. Again, I vouch for this because I know it's awesome, and I know how hard I've been working on this book and how fun the stories are. And but
and you ship worldwide. So if anyone is watching from Europe and you want to do this book, no problem.
We will get it to you. We also have a digital tier if you because of the shipping costs.
Oh, yeah, right.
They're a bit exorbitant.
Yes.
So it's
that's perfect. That's perfect.
You can get a digital version.
Yep. And digital version has specific cover also.
Yeah, that's we could make that the cover. That was the original. That was the very first image I drew for Unconditional Shove, and I thought it would be a cover, but I ended up scrapping it because of the way the story changed. But we might do that. He already put that image up, so might as well.
Yeah,
I had help with this campaign, and like I said, my partner James set the campaign page up, and he threw that image on there. I'm like, okay.
So this image doesn't appear in the book.
No, it doesn't. But now that you threw it up on the digital, I'm just gonna do it and make that the digital cover.
Yeah, man. Exclusive digital cover.
Exclusive digital cover for all you lovers of digital comics.
Exactly. The black and white version for $30. Yes.
Yep.
Color version for 40, and then you have the combo. No, wait, the combo. Oh, that's the feature tier. Yeah, the feature tier.
Yeah.
Yes.
And again, that's the most claimed one. I know Amanda B said like CG has this kind of price range that they really like, and that makes sense for the best value, And again, this is definitely the best value to get both books. So.
Okay, I'm not seeing this this comment from Amanda. I'm very sorry. I'm trying to keep up. Okay, and then finally the Unconditional Fan Pack. All right, great.
Yeah, that's the one with the original art added.
Excellent. Okay, you have 49 backers. Let's just refresh.
Yeah, let's see. Come on, people. Oh man!
Damn it!
Anybody
49.
Does not have this, jump on it.
but keep sharing it, guys. Keep sharing it.
Yeah, and that's another thing. If you can't pick it up now, no worries. And if you follow the page, the Indiegogo page, get updates, and then if it's tough now, maybe back it later. But
here's some new art. Wait.
Yeah, so you can see some of the differences between the color and the black and white versions, side by side.
Nice, excellent, man. How long does it take you to make one page?
Oh, it all depends, but I mean, if I'm really focused, I can pencil and ink a page pretty easily in one day, even a really elaborate one. So it all depends.
80s made consumer says back today or back on payday.
Yeah, I like his mantra that he always says that. Back today or back on payday. Because can't waste it.
Well, thanks, Mo.
Oh yeah,
CG likes their $50, $75 tiers. They want more for value. Yeah.
No, that makes sense. And I'm right in that same camp. Like when I look at campaigns that I'm gonna back, kind of going, this is where you get the best bang for the buck usually. So
especially when you have shipping like $20 or $25.
Oh yeah. Yeah, you're already expecting to pay the same amount of shipping whether you go like a $30 or something.
Exactly.
You know,
Exactly.
a little more value in there.
Caroline says, I've got the digital because of shipping costs. I'd rather have the actual copy, but I'm grateful to be able to enjoy it anyway.
Well, I appreciate that, Caroline. And I understand, like, and that is the thing, you know, we will ship worldwide, but, you know, shipping costs. So that is part of the reason why the digital version exists. And,
Yeah.
Is a good way
I do
for
it also.
international.
I do it also on my campaigns, and a lot of people back digital nowadays, man.
Yeah.
It's a bit silly to not do it, basically, as a creator.
Yeah, of course. Like you should have it there. And that's like a great reason why is, you know, if you're dealing with the worldwide audience, you know, here we are, we're in 2 different countries clear across the world, you know, we have a global audience, and, yeah, shipping costs are a real thing. So, you know, everyone prefers to have a physical copy, of course, but, you know, sometimes it just makes sense. Grab the digital.
Right. Did we talk about the stories themselves a little bit?
Yeah, a little bit in the trailer kind of touches on them, but
yeah,
if you want, we can talk a little bit about it.
Yeah, sure. To get people interested in the story. So what's the story about? The first story.
So the first story, if you scroll up just a bit, we'll highlight that one. That's monsters exist right there.
This one? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So monsters exist. It's basically like ancient, evil, eldritch style horrors that have existed in the universe. Are trying to find a way to break into our natural world, and they are doing that through the dreams of some young people. So they're coming into their nightmares, and soon those nightmares are going to become manifest in the real world.
Right.
And so the plan is to battle that through virtual reality and go into the dreams and fight these monsters before they become real embodiments in the real world. And that is the question. Will they be able to fight this before it becomes manifest?
Virtual reality. Excellent.
Yeah, so there's a virtual reality element, ancient eldritch style horrors and the dreams. A lot of fun. And that's the longer story, because there's a lot of ins and outs besides just that. You know.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I have a little bit the same concept for a book that we have called Dream Girl Sleeper Agent, but it's
nice.
It's a superhero book. So basically, there's this girl with the power to manifest herself in dreams, and she is tasked to prevent these dream demons to get into the real world.
Oh wow!
And do this through the same way, through possessing people who have nightmares. Yeah.
Yeah, cool, it's a great concept. I remember I was watching, it was Nightmare on Elm Street 3, the one called Dream Warriors.
Yes.
And that was kind of the thing that, you know, Freddy had been terrorizing him in their dreams, and they're like, let's turn the tables on him. Let's fight back in our dreams, you know. I thought that was a great concept.
Yeah, man. Okay. And then we have the second story is called With Friends Like These.
With Friends Like These. Yeah. So basically this one is there's a couple, a man and woman, on the run from the law. They're actually on a murdering spree. They're horrible scumbag people. They end up breaking down in the mountains near this cabin. And as they come to find the cabin owner has a terrible secret, an age-old secret with him and his scarecrow and their friendship. So they end up in a fight for their own lives. And yeah, that's basically that story.
yeah. It's a short story, so you can't tell too much about it.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, I can basically tell you the whole story.
Yeah.
Well, you always leave it with, you know, they're in a fight for survival. Will they survive? You know?
Exactly. Will they or won't they? Yeah.
Will they get their comeuppance as well, because they are scummy people?
Excellent, man. Okay, yeah. But it looks interesting, and it's fun that in this little CG community we have like comic books from every genre. Which is great. So if you like horror, they can find it here.
Well, and I always want to say too, or like kind of put this out there, like it's horror, but it's like, again, I always say it's the fun kind of horror, because I've read horror comics and, you know, seen like horror movies where it's like, you're just like, it's like taking a bath in hell or something. You know, you're like, it's just a drenching of like gore and evil, and you're like, oh, you're just like exhausted after reading. I'm like, no, there's fun elements. Like I said, you go back to like the old eerie and creepy Tales from the Crypt. They were horror comics, but they always had a fun element to them, you know. The original is crazy.
Greg's Cabin.
That's hilarious.
J. Bot Art says, if I could afford it, I get both color and black and white. They look like two different experiences.
Yeah, I think they are, and I appreciate that, Daybot.
Yes.
I really do think they are. Just visually, they're two experiences. Story-wise, they're the same, obviously, but
yeah,
it adds so much. Like I said, I've been drawing this for a long time, thinking it was just black and white, and then I went, okay, I can afford a colorist. Let's do it. And I started getting imagery back from him colored, and I'm like, holy, this is not. It's like a whole other book. So.
David Feed asks, what's the new word for this intellectual horror movies like Midsommar or The Witch? Boring?
Boring.
You have this new like genre within horror, right?
Yeah. I think the word boring comes to mind a bit. Yeah. I was a big fan of like 80s horror comedies as well. You know, Evil Dead 2. Return of the Living Dead, American Werewolf in London. You know, some of these movies just like, they were horror movies for sure. And when you watch them as a kid, you're like, oh, it freaked me out. But like you watch it now and you're like, it's just entertaining. You know, it's fun. And that's kind of the thought, is that it's not just the boring horror.
Right. Yes. Sporehacker is here. Welcome, Sporehacker.
Hey, good to see you.
Sorry I'm late. I have a bed bug problem. Oh, wow.
Dang, that sucks. Yeah.
That you can make a horror.
A
horror story.
There's the start of a new
also.
story. Yeah. Thank you for the inspiration, man. Sorry you have to go through it, but we'll make a good story.
He says, also, I backed the digital. Did you do that?
Oh, thank you so much.
Did you do that now, sir?
Yeah.
49. Let's refresh.
Maybe you did it earlier.
No, he did it earlier.
It might have been the 49th, which is fine.
Yeah. Too bad. I wanted to get this 50 in this hour.
Yeah, I want to get to 50. We're really close, guys. Come on. Okay. Mike, your fan of Genuine Comics, he says Brain Dead, aka Dead Alive. Yes. That was another one. Another great movie. There were so many. There's also another Brain Dead that had Bill Pullman and Bill Paxton, which was also a great kind of psychological horror movie. There we go. Mo has the title.
It's a perfect title. Dead Bugs, Return of the Living Bed Bugs. Yeah.
Yes.
Right. All right, man. Guys, the link to all of this is in the description. So if you want to check it out, please do. Please share it with other people. Talk about this campaign. Let's help get this funded. So and while you're at it, by the way, you can also back American Bliss, Father's Pride, Part 1.
Absolutely.
We were funded within the first 4 days. So thank you all so much, guys. Thank you all. We have 15 days left. And I'm really considering to leave it there after for 30 days total, because we are funded. So I don't really see the point in extending to 60 days
or going 60.
Check it out, guys. And Perfect 10 issue 3, you can also still back this one. So we have horror, we have superhero. There's something for everybody.
That's right. Yeah, these look like great books as well, man. Like Perfect 10. Is it the same artist on both? Pow?
No. Pow did a variant cover for American Bliss, but he's the artist for Perfect 10. No, the artist for American Bliss is Eric Hodson.
He's American, that's right, Eric Hodson. Yeah,
I thought it was cool to have Americans on this American themed superhero title. Yeah.
Well, I think he's going to be putting that out there. He's coming down 80s show Monday night. So.
Oh yeah. I think he told me that. Yeah. Excellent. Guys, thank you so much. Thanks, Odin. Thank you for being my guest today.
Thank you, Dave. Thank you so much. And I like your show. I like your comics. I think what you're doing is great. So I really appreciate it, man. And thank you, everybody in the chat, all you awesome people, everyone who backed. Most thanks of all. I really appreciate it.
By the way, you have a Twitter profile, and people can also find that in the description. So,
everything, all the social media, it's all just Odin Dasko. Pretty easy to find.
Exactly. It's very, very easy. So, thank you, Odin, and special thanks to the chat for everyone who showed up and who
rock.
And who shared and who liked. If you like this, please give it a
best.
thumbs up. If you didn't like it, give it a thumbs down. And I'm very sorry.
We failed you. No, don't thumbs up.
Yeah, it is what it is. You can't please everyone all the time.
No.
Okay, this was a drink with Brink for today. I will be back next week. Same channel, same time, new guest. Hope to see you guys then. Bye-bye, everyone. Bye.
Later, everyone.
America has a new hero, and she kicks butt. Join American Bliss in her exciting first issue as she finds her way as the new champion of freedom.